undying emperor, and the great planar war that shook the heavens, there was an age of contradiction, where cannons won kingdoms and muskets kept the peace, a brave few won the hearts of the conquered and conquerors alike. Of these we speak of the decline of the great kingdoms and cultures under the heel of empire. Of those we speak of gladiators and the untold thousands that worshipped them. This is an age of glory, where kings would be slaves and a gladiator would be king.
Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Dread and Circus Campaign Season 3 Episode 8. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Mark and Ahmed. How are you both doing, hot mics?
Good.
Mark's speaking in Morse code, apparently.
That's the filter going off. Poor thing.
How's it going, guys?
It's good. Missing the games.
Lucas, man! You've been with us for 11 months plus. Crazy stuff. Good times, good times. Thanks for your support.
Hi, Lucas. Hi, Kenny.
I like the little red dragon by your name. Awesome. You go get coffee, Kenny. I almost said go get Kenny coffee. All right. Ahmed, are you going crazy? Have you had your gaming fix lately, or what's going on?
I've created my own role-playing campaign.
See, that's what happens when you make him skip a week.
If you've heard of Zombicide? Zombicide is like, you have tiles, you put them together, you make maps, you have scenarios, you have little figurines, you make them move around, and you play scenario and you play the game.
Okay.
I put a whole bunch of games together, made a big world, and they have like their own base, and they go find supplies.
Oh, you're playing with your kids, is what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my kids.
I missed that part.
Yeah, the 5 and 7-year-old makes it a little difficult, but it's fun. I gotta get the itch in.
Your 5-year-old understands the concept of a zombie?
Oh yeah. So there's these two kinds of kids. One kid's like, there's a monster under the bed, and then there's my kid. There's a monster under the bed. I've trained my kids to not be scared of shit like that. So.
Gotcha.
Involves a lot.
I don't have kids, so I'm just gonna refrain from making any comments. You don't understand, Marty. You don't have kids.
All right, kids. When I have breakfast, take apart this
Oh, funny.
knife or whatever.
Okay, so you're playing G-rated Goblin Adventure with your kids.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Cool. How is it being the DM? Your players like...
It is a lot of fun. You make so much shit on the fly. So much shit on the fly. I'm gonna show you guys because it's fun. Here, watch this. All right. This is the world.
Okay.
You can see this is their world.
Mm-hmm.
Back there, you see a whole bunch of characters with a whole bunch of cards and inventory.
Yep.
They're starting to make traps. I was explaining to Mark. I'm making them make like stuff and traps and barricades out of Legos. I take them apart, hide them in the world, so they go find them and rebuild them as characters. It's fun.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. What 1 week? 1 week and Ahmed's already creating his own game system.
My own campaign.
So what you're saying is you got some
Give
quality...
him a month. She's like, come look at my backyard.
So zombies everywhere.
That's funny. Mark, what's up with you?
Not much. Weekend's here.
Your weekend's
Weather
here?
in Sudbury can't decide whether it's spring or winter because it has.
I
both.
know, dude.
Are you playing with us tomorrow?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Mark's here tomorrow. It's awesome.
All right, cool. And Adam will join us a little bit later tonight as well as tomorrow. We'll probably be able to get through most of the crypt of the Iron Medusa tonight and tomorrow. So that's cool.
So long as the first room was the hardest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, we didn't even talk to that guy. He's a sentient, like, powerful guy. We're like, hey, guys, you're gonna attack. Maybe we're gonna talk to him.
Oh, the first guy was the crazy ghost with the whip riding around on the spectral.
His ass needed to die.
Okay, yeah. All right, why don't we do a quick recap. The adventurers arrive at the site of the Imperial necropolis. This was called Breathless. They breached the strange defenses of the crypt of the Iron Medusa, battling spirits, nightmares, and guardian elementals once inside. The angry ghost of a long-dead Adelan family member steals a bit of Zeta's essence before it is temporarily vanquished. And we had a full crew last game, and on the map we see the gargantuan necropolis that belonged to the Adela family, that they had built themselves, but then the Imperials had come and finished the construction for them when their family was damned by the Undying Emperor and the Imperial royal family for deigning to claim that they were setting up themselves as kings.
I would like to see how that conversation went. So, your family was going to put a door here, right? Well, let's just not. Let's just put like a big wall, and you can stay inside. Bye-bye.
Now, what drove them to this mad place was that they believed that Zira, the shadow priestess, the heretic of Lear, had come here long ago, and I believe it's something like a decade ago, on some mission against the enemy. And what you suspect is the enemy being the agents of Shadow or Dracia Umbravilda or something that perhaps is related to the Shadow War and the reemergence of the Shadow. Yeah. She obviously was not able to leave this place. She is an elf. 10 years, she could still be very much alive and well, although it may be doubtful. I believe at one point you got some sort of prophecy as to what happened to her. I think this was shared by the caretaker of Terra's Lean to the party when they magically tried to figure out what happened to her long ago. Let me paraphrase part of this and make sure it still makes sense. This is where prophecy becomes tricky. I probably didn't even know what module I was going to stick her in when I read this. Aha. In a light beyond shadow, neither alive nor dead, in a place that cannot be reached by light almost, is not quite in shadow, in darkness she shall remain until her kin free her from stone.
From what?
From stone.
Balls.
And this is
statue.
this feels like the thing that I recited out loud and that Adam quickly wrote down. So, you know, we could be playing a telephone game with this line at this point.
Is not quite in shadow, is in darkness she shall remain until her kin free her from the stone.
No, the prophecy was very clear. She would be stoned.
Right.
It's Zira! Okay.
There seemed to be some, like, is she in light or darkness? Is she in shadow? What's going on? Neither alive nor dead. There seems to be some in-betweenness to the
There's some
to the message.
in-betweenness to this entire place.
Yes, there is some in-betweenness to the entire place. The party is uncertain right now as to whether or not they are in the shadow plane or in a place entirely different.
Maybe.
A demiplane, perhaps. One of the things that has Renee transfixed is the sky. The sky seems to be showing the stars with stellar drift about 300 years past. Of course, most of the characters don't pay that close attention to the stars. To 300 years ago, in the past. He also sees that the moon is pregnant in the sky, where the day where you guys arrived here, the moon was not full. Please don't make me do the lunar math. It's just not the same phase of the moon.
Something is off.
Yes.
Something's not right. So we already looted these assholes?
Okay, so where you guys left off was you were standing outside of this particular crypt, which was a crematorium, the one labeled D on the map. And you were standing outside of the room, and you had just gone into the room. Let me scroll to... where is it? Necropolis?
South. South of where that...
Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. You guys have wandered into this particular room. This is after defeating the Ifrit, as well as the two fire elementals. The fire elementals are just burned streaks along the ground, whereas the Ifrit body remained. You paused for a few minutes to take a few items off of the Ifrit, including, I think, a really lunar math, the highlight of jamming. Funny. And I think those items were already added to the loot. There was a really large magical chain shirt. He had an iron key with transmutation aura with a cross-headed Medusa head, a circlet upon his brow, and a very large ruby that you guys took out of his turban that had quite powerful magic upon it. I don't recall whether or not you identified it.
I don't know.
I'm gonna.
I don't think we did. We just did it.
Hang on
I
a
don't
sec.
think we're gonna waste any spells on identifying shit right now.
Mind you, the bard is pretty good at this, so...
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna check.
As I'm looking through the wrong module, wondering why I can't find anything.
Yeah, you just got a +20. It's worth trying.
Okay, give me the large chain shirt is pretty easy, but 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls, and let me just grab the module that I was reading in the other room. Now I've got the module.
Okay, the first two, not so hot.
Okay, the formula is 8th level magic. You don't actually... the large chain shirt is not identified.
Awesome.
The iron key has transmutation aura on it. You realize that it's probably, when placed into the right lock, the key will actually change to fit the lock.
Handy. Alright.
So you're probably looking for a magical lock somewhere.
Yeah.
30 is enough to get the Circlet of the Ifrit Lord is a +2 enhancement bonus to all mental abilities.
Oh.
I'm not surprised, but I saw that on the weekend.
Knowledge Planes is the skill that is in the int slot.
That could be very handy.
Grizak, it wouldn't help Grizak. So.
The ruby is gives you a +4 DC to trap the soul against fire elementals within the gemstone.
Okay, interesting.
Multiple elementals may be placed inside as long as the suitable hit dice remain, and the max capacity of the jewel is 18 hit dice.
All right. No. Okay. Well, who else is in the party?
So I'm just going to divide your loot into identified and not identified.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny that the +3 chain shirt was unidentified.
It's so complicated. It's like there's no other magic. Gotta be doing it wrong.
Well, I don't think many of you have
Yeah.
+3 items, so...
No. Yeah, that would jack her knowledge planes up big time. Alright, I think...
And I've got
Zeva's-
something called Iron Medusa Shadow Plane version. Oh, this is where you got the stuff. Okay. Alright.
Yeah.
I'm like...
I think Sita's gonna wear the
circlet of the Afridi Lord.
yes,
Okay, I'm going to put that onto Zeta's character.
because she needs to have max ranks in knowledge planes at this point.
What is she currently wearing in her slot?
A +2 charisma.
Okay, I will throw that back. That's a really decent upgrade.
Very nice upgrade.
Which one? Which
The-
one are you giving her? The Freet Lord's,
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Head-
Hey, Adam. What you having, baby?
Hey man, are we live?
We are live.
are
not
live.
like-
Hot mic.
I will tell you stories of little old lady hitchhikers that I'm like, I can't leave her on the side of the road, and that's what happens afterwards.
Don't worry, you just missed Zeta yoinking some of the magic items. That's all. We just started.
It's better if I don't know about that sort of thing.
The bard took the +2 to elemental ability score item with knowledge planes inside.
It's not unreasonable.
Nope, and put back a headband of charisma +2. I was just bugging Mark by that comment. Apparently it bugged both of you.
Renee cares about one of those ability scores. It happens to be charisma.
Right. Okay, the room that you guys are... So, identifying those items did take a couple of minutes. I don't know if any of you put up, like, first level or second level, like, minute per level spells. If so, they are
Who had the
down.
mental headband.
The mental headband.
What do you mean?
The big Ifrit that you guys killed.
He was like,
Wasn't a Freet Lord.
if we had talked to him, he might have said stuff that was like interesting.
Funny.
We
I-
just murdered him.
Yeah,
Welcome to adventuring.
Ahmed said we should have talked to this dude.
Adam just said the same thing. Hey, all mental.
And Mark's like, well, my character wouldn't have a circlet.
Because I have all this knowledge now.
Funny.
Alright, let me get this stuff going.
All right. The room that you're in, there is light coming from the back rooms. This particular room, I believe, has 2 stained glass windows on it. One that looks like a very handsome man, and the other one looks like an attractive woman, sort of noble-ish in their dress. Not much more detail than that is can be gleaned because it is like stained glass window with very large panes. This is obviously a crematorium. The center of this room floor, there is a giant carved Medusa crest that stares endlessly upwards. A motto engraved around the circumference of the Medusa reads in Imperial Common, "A blade answers even the most vexing questions."
The fuck does that mean?
It means you stab your problem until it's not a problem anymore.
You wouldn't stab your... You slap them. The only way to do it properly. Get me dance first.
I do not appreciate the creature that they chose as their family pet or emblem.
What knowledge is to know about those particular
Knowledge Arcana, which I believe Radimer's pretty good at.
I'm getting there.
What does
Yeah, with his plus
the
plus 20.
snakehead thing do?
The snakehead thing has a gaze that would turn mortals to stone.
This is Arcana. I'm sure we're getting there. Knowledge Arcana.
Does Radimer have a charisma item?
Radimer is a charisma caster. He fucking should have a charisma item. If he doesn't,
Should have a plus
That's
4.
why I'm
This is
checking
not-
first.
he has a plus 4 int item on his headband slot.
Isn't it a... there's two. It's a headband and...
The gem was just placed inside of the turban. It can be just held. It's a slotless item.
It's a slotless plus 2 to elementals?
No. There's a red gem that you guys also plucked out of his turban.
Cool. I apparently need to look at the treasure sheet because I'm just
Yes, you do.
all sorts of dumb.
Radimer does not have a charisma item, but he has a headband slot that he's not going to give up. He's basically going to put his own magic into Radimer's
He'll
diadem.
make it better. Alright, so I... Going once, going twice.
Take it. Take it.
Sold the creepy man with charisma instead of con.
Hey, this might make you smell a little better. Why don't you take that here?
Yes, it will bolster you in a way that is appropriate, says Radimer.
Yeah, maybe you're... Remember, yours mine, though.
We should be on the lookout for a blade that can answer questions. Or perhaps some sort of importance about how to use a blade.
Blade of wishes.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
There's only gonna be one wish left. We have to wish our way out of this place.
I wish I was out of here.
Oh, you asshole!
The hair kind of gives Grizak a swat. I would not use that phrase around a magical place like this. And then you notice the hair that whipped at you is now trying to clean itself off on Evander's leg.
Where you going? Come here, Slippery.
Evander takes a full combat step back away from Grizak.
You're too serious, I tell you.
By this point in time, Zeta, your greater invis has worn off.
Oh yeah, that's.
And Nibbles is just standing there picking at his nose.
So,
Oh, I wanted to remind you, before I forget, the Adele's curse. No,
You have a
Not
plus...
the
Shadows.
Adela curse.
Yep.
The result was 20
On which character again?
on Nibbles. I don't know when that takes effect, but
Not the only one.
Sorry, Nibbles. It's kind of my bad.
Yep, I got it.
Okay.
Shall we have a look further inside?
oh, yeah.
It is always good to be inside the forge. Renee will start scouting around.
Whoa, we're a little hot here.
Okay. Does Renee have trap finding?
Renee does have trap finding.
Okay, give me a perception roll just as you're generally going into these next areas.
Okay. 1d20 plus 15. I'm still getting everything loaded.
Stone cunning.
Sword of Omen's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, at the end of the hall, you do see more stained glass. It seems to be of those two same people again.
Oh, this is here? Stained glass?
This is at the end of the hall.
Ah.
They are kind of like large in shape. And I'm going to unfog the sides.
Okay, Renee found no magical traps if there were any. He only got a 19.
Okay. So you're
Perfectly fine, then.
you're wandering forward. In the area called D2, the walls of this dome building are oval-shaped. They form a... they're covered in a complex geometric pattern of green and gold. There appear to be some benches that are used for funerary rites, of which Renee will never have.
Yeah, I got shot.
Well, you just have funerary rites on your death day, and you just, every year you do it again.
The wall at the end of the chamber is a huge iron oven. Is dominated by a huge iron oven with a closed door.
Sorry, I thought I was smelling a forge. Apparently, it's closer to soul forge than it is to proper forge.
And it is. There is a roaring flame inside of this crematorium.
Grizak, put out the fire.
Detect magic on the fire?
I don't
Yeah,
see
so
here to keep this fire going.
the what was it? Illusion, transmutation, and conjuration that was outside is also inside the building, making it very difficult to detect magic. And you're a little bit too far away from that. To the left, there's an elegant dome shrine, and it looks like this place was once a shrine dedicated to the five-faced god. There is a mosaic symbol of the five-faced god under the great dome that is smeared with all manner of filth. The once beautiful frescoes of the deeds of the five-faced god are soiled with soiled. Pools of red-tinged water stand in the north and the south, and there are scorched curtains that once sheltered the altar. There might have been additional statuary or adornments, but it looks like it's all been smashed.
Grizak's gonna look for the signs of where Zira might have gone. Survival. I saw her boot print outside. I think it's her boot print. Last game.
Yep.
It entered but did not leave.
There is perhaps a somewhat lion motif to the shrine. Like you did see some like what looked like part of a lion statue in some of this rubble.
In D3?
And there may have been other things worked into the mosaic, into the frescoes, only partially visible. There's just something, and this is more Zeta, there's something just a little bit off with the shrine, aside from it being completely defiled. There's something a little odd.
Try and disbelieve an illusion?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your survival check, Grizak, and then Renee has already looked around this particular room for traps and has not found anything.
19 is my result.
I believe the phrase is there are no traps, because Renee has looked around the room and none were found.
Right. None. Absolutely none.
There's zero possibility of there being traps in this room.
39, Marty?
So you were looking for Zira's tracks.
Yeah. So I heard tracks step in.
Yep.
So
Zira's tracks, well, these were long ago. This place, 10-year-old tracks, huh?
But are they 10-year? Are they? Time's working funny here.
You
10-year-old tracks in a place without a normal ecosystem.
right. Although there is signs of the buildings crumbling and that sort of thing. So
That and there was like horse hooves all over the goddamn place.
yep. Grizak, you do find some of Zira's tracks here. Like she lingered here for a while and probably hid with a 39. She was hiding here for some reason.
Maybe because there's two giant fire elementals and a crazy Ifrit?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the fiery light coming into this room is creating an abundance of shadow.
Alright.
And then what did you roll for your knowledge religion?
Zeta.
Zeta?
Oh, I have not. I will take 10 and get a 27.
Look at you.
I truly appreciate the character builds where you go like, I used to take 10. They're really fun to play as the player. They're really boring as like the other players or the people hearing about it.
I take 10. I get the answer.
Okay.
Mass problem.
For some reason, there is a minor deity. What was it? 27 total?
Yeah.
There is a minor deity, an old god, that is also depicted in this particular shrine of the five-faced god.
That's weird.
The old god was the squire of another old god named Heronius.
Okay.
The squire's name was Shaylin.
All right.
Picture a demigod that was raised by the god of paladins and valor
Okay.
to serve as his squire. Shaylin was known to have, like, he was a lion in battle and was as courageous as a lion. The lion was his standard. And for some reason, in this particular room, you see that he's depicted on the fringes almost like a vassal to a king may have the honor of having his heraldic device orbiting around the center of power.
Okay, let's go have a closer look. See.
Now, this is kind of worked into like a little bit of the frescoes
Yeah.
that remain, some of the mosaic along the floor, and then like some of the broken statuary. You're like, hey, that's a lion. What does a lion have to do with the five-faced god?
Where are all the corpses?
We're in a crematorium. They go into fire. They don't use wood. They use muddy.
Maybe good stuff in there. Putting his thumb towards the furnace.
Nah, summer's off here.
Oh yeah. No,
We're
not
supposed to be
it yet.
hundreds. Supposed to be what? Hundreds? Big family. They all in there.
Oh no. Until you put fire out and we look through it.
Well, you'll deal with that one later.
Okay, it doesn't feel good in the room, Zeta. Like somebody went through a lot of pain to break all this.
Well, you know what? Zeta wouldn't expect to feel good even if it wasn't defaced. It's the
Yep.
five-faced god.
Yep.
Does she say that? Does she say that? Does Zeta say that?
No, she's kind of just wandering to.
Okay.
She wanders behind it to see if there's anything in.
Zero might have been
Gri-
through here.
Grizak finds another spot where Zira had crouched.
Can I also get a bonus to stone cunning from stone cunning? Because this is all like.
Yeah, sure, 41. I'm giving you, like, you're tracking the 10 years of tracks. You find discarded and somewhat burned, however you suspect that it was something important, an empty backpack.
Where was it?
You find an empty backpack here.
So she was hiding here.
Yeah, and then she scooted
then
across,
here.
and it...
So she didn't want to go in here because, well, she would have. She was trying to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Looks like she's trying to make her way over here. What's with these,
I'm gonna start paying attention to the stained glass and actually just follow these. Like follow in here.
Okay, give
I
me
don't wanna get too
give me a
close.
perception with the stained glass.
Oh, good. You're good at these.
The word of blinding.
no, that's just regular glass.
24. I rule bounties.
All right. You see another set of her footprints. For some reason, she left no footprints. Like, she stood here, maybe rustled around in this backpack, but you see that she's right in the shadow of this clunk of stone.
Yeah.
And it's almost like she teleported.
Something here. Hey, Rennie.
Okay.
Tech Matt.
As you cross the dim light that is coming through the stained glass windows, you can hear a metal and glass kind of warbling and crunching sound as the two stained glass windows are coming alive. And we're gonna roll initiative.
There are no traps here. It is guaranteed that is not a trap.
Good
I did my job.
Alright. Woohoo! It's time to get beaten the shit up.
Oh.
Haste is down, but
I'll
the
do
10-minute
Vander.
levels are up.
Wow, I need somebody to start rolling for me because I'm doing them. I'm got your roll here, Mark.
Oh, is that my role? Is that supposed to be
No,
mine?
that's me taking your position today.
Okay.
Grizak and two Evander.
I am personally of the I have a minor exertion migraine, so if I just go quiet for a bit, it's because I'm trying to focus my energies on not being an asshole.
Well, I hear that.
Ahmed will understand.
Oh, yeah. Daily.
All right, I'm gonna go look up something from the book that will not give Adam a more of a migraine. It is called Monster Manual 2.
See, Monster Manual 3 and 4 where things really went bullshit. Monster Manual 2 is still like, you
No,
know,
no, this is when they gave them spelling abilities that were way beyond
right
their
before it's like,
CR.
yeah, it's got a fucking wish. It's CR7. It's got a fucking wish. Once
And I
per
think
year,
they're
but it's always got it when you
large,
need it.
so we'll put down. You can add them to the initiative sheet for me. Open up the initiative sheet,
Cool.
and we'll put down the two stained glass golems.
Okay, so Golem 1, Golem 2, or just together? Golem 1.
I like stained glass golems in terms of it as the monster. They're fun. I like the stupid iron golems. Look at me, I'm the best.
There you go.
I'm still waiting for Phineas to get the funds to make an alchemical golem.
Those are also, that's pilot of nonsense. A row of alchemical golems is really bad times.
Oh yeah, that's bad
like
time for
4
everybody.
alchemical golems. It's only a CR10 encounter.
Careful, that guy's got a staff. Look at what's holding the staff.
Although to be fair, with some of the nonsensory that we're doing in this campaign, I don't know if the alchemical golems would stand a chance.
They're not that bad.
Okay, I will
No,
run,
the stained glass golems need an advanced template or something.
No, they don't. Grizak is right there.
Right there.
Very little to hit the Grizak.
I'll roll for Radimer.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, in Pathfinder they made them better. Okay, great. They have +0 initiatives.
Sweet. Do you want them together or their own?
Together's fine.
Oh, and
Together forever and never apart.
Okay, so I'll roll for them here.
I believe that temporary +1 is no longer a thing.
I rolled a 12. Mark, was that for them or for?
That was for Evander. Oh,
Okay.
someone already
Oh.
rolled. Never mind.
You want me to slap an advanced template on it? Done. they have +2s. Yes.
I rolled a 12 for them, not a 2.
You've got Evander, Ahmed.
Yeah, I got a Van.
Adam, you got Radimer.
Radamur, yep.
You got a 2 for. I'm rolling for the stone glass gold. Oh, you rolled a
okay.
12.
I
Sorry.
rolled already, yeah.
12. 2. All right.
Radamer's got a roll. Okay, cool.
All right, Renee, you're the first to react to this. Yeah, that bending sound. You're like, that's a trap, but not a trap. Oh, they're alive.
Is this full round or surprise?
How
They.
fast do they come out of the glass?
We're just gonna say this is a full round.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm gonna
Hey, Fox.
I'm gonna shoot the man-shaped one many times with a bow.
Okay.
See if that
Glass golem. Man. And woman.
woman. Whoa, man. Whoa, 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 man.
Alright, Renee's bow comes off his shoulder, or did he have it out?
That's in his hands.
Okay.
He's got powers that lets him do really well in the surprise round with his weapon, as long as it's out. I don't believe I'm within 30 feet. 24 minus...
Nope, they're 40 feet away.
3 minus
Oh
2.
shit, these things are large. Fuck.
AC 26.
AC 26 hits a pane, and it sticks through the pane of glass.
AC 24.
Hits. Exactly.
We're just going to see how crap we can roll. AC 23.
Hit the metal between two of the panes. Bang!
Alright, what's the DR?
The DR is 10.
Oh, funsies. Alright, so...
Because your arrows are punching right through, but they're not doing a terrible amount of damage.
So it's 3d8 plus...
And then the
3.
damage is only localized to the one pane of glass that is framed.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
So 31 damage after DR.
holy shit. Okay, that damaged a bunch of panes of glass that are now crashing down to the ground, making a lot of noise inside of this area. It still has a lot of punch left to it.
I don't know if this is going to be the bad luck, although I have time to get it all through, I guess.
Nibbles! Oh, they're big and they're made out of glass, Nibbles.
Made of glass. Hey,
This
buddy.
stupid glass easy to break. Nibbles.
Nibbles goes right up to the pane of glass. Yeah, this one has little round shapes around its breast.
I'm just curious if there's special sunder rules for these things, or...
They are constructs, so they are creatures, so it's called an attack roll and damage.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, fair enough. Vital strike. Oh, what corner?
Although we should re-examine your powers to see if it says anything special about
No.
constructs or objects.
It does not.
Okay. No, it bends like it's a moving creature. It is defying the physics of a normal.
Worth noting, he's conserving some of his rage.
Hmm.
Partially because he thinks, well, they're made of glass. How hard can this possibly be?
Right.
Also, this place hasn't been very sleepy friendly.
No, it's not. So AC 30.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few panes of glass coming down and wrenched metal as Nibbles comes over with his oversized axe.
Plus
Carry the 20.
5. So 45 damage before DR.
How many hits? One?
That's one hit.
Okay, 35 damage. It's still moving, and it has a really sharp-looking sword. That was Nibbles coming and crashing at Ratimer.
Ratimer does not like constructs.
No spellcaster likes constructs.
Ratimer is going to take a full round to think about and spew the brilliant knowledge that is Ratimer's about that which is the golem of stained glass.
Okay.
Alright. That being said, Ratimer preserving spells is funny because he's got like all the casting classes. 21, a natural 1 on knowledge arcane.
Alright, he knows that they're constructs, he knows that you need adamantine, he knows that they're true golems. True golems means that
Magic no good.
magic generally no good, but there are specific spells.
Can they see invisible things?
He knows that they're able to create light, but he's confused by these particular ones because they may have some additional properties. I don't know how much of this he spews out.
They're
Adam,
immune to magics for the most part. Hit them hard.
Excuse me.
And that's his action.
yep. That was Ratimer, which brings us to the stained glass golems. Alright, the one that's being attacked with nibbles is going to attack back. Its sword comes swiping in twice. AC 26, AC 27.
Both hit.
.22 damage and 1 point of bleed.
If
And
Nibbles needed a spell for his AC, what would it be?
and 15 damage and 1 point of bleed. So Nibbles got bleed 2.
Oh, and then, another 15. All right. I think it would be Barkskin.
Okay. Does Nibbles have... I don't know if anybody could give him a shield, but yeah.
Okay. It's now reflecting light as well. Everyone within 30 feet of this golem needs to make a fortitude save, as it's dazzling and reflecting light in strange ways. That would be Nibbles and Grizak.
So these things are
Oh,
emitting
sorry.
a lot of light.
That's
Yeah.
27.
They're reflecting what little light from the outside, and they're kind of making it sparkle and shine. Nibbles, his
27.
his sight is not affected, and Grizak.
Fort save, dude.
Ahmed, Jar?
Damn it, sorry. Is this a spell-like ability?
This is an extraordinary ability.
Okay.
Golem.
I'm just saying, man. I'm asking because right now these things are all bullshit.
Okay. 26.
Okay,
There
your sight is not affected in any way. The male stained glass golem is going to gather all the light into the end of his sword, and with a ray, fires it at Grizak.
Oh shit! Here it comes.
Ooh boy. Touch attack.
Yep.
The Grizak's favorite. Actually, the new Grizak's favorite, the old Grizak's.
Grizak's AC is not that good, but... So,
It's not no Nibbles touch AC.
10
No.
for...
Nibbles touch AC is currently 6.
Ring and dodge?
No, he's not raging.
Okay, want to roll a d8 to see what color of ray it's hitting you with?
But you're enlarged.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't... Oh, would it still be enlarged?
5.
It's
Okay,
invincible level.
a blue ray is coming out of his sword and trying to strike Grizak.
Okay,
Ring and dodge applies?
Dodge works.
AC 30, touch AC.
That
You
would,
touch.
well, that would miss Cade, but it hits Grizak.
Okay, Grizak notices that part of the clothing on his arm and his skin is starting to turn to stone. Give me a fortitude save. The DC...
Spell-like ability?
This is a... it is a...
It's an... well, it's got a weird... it's not an SU, it's actually an
gonna
FU,
roll-
Ahmed. It's an FU.
15.
No,
Natural
it's an SU.
Natural 1.
Okay, Grizak has now been turned into a stone statue.
No! The rage will begin next round.
Grizak, what are you saying as you're turning to stone?
I'm a fuck's sake.
I'm a fucker! Grizak's in the middle of looking at his own arm, swearing.
Okay.
And then it's just gonna hop down from its perch. Is that incurring AOS from Nibbles? No.
No.
Its move is 30.
Where's Zeta?
She's
She's
way,
way the hell. Okay.
Grizak goes like, yeah. like, yeah.
She's gonna poke her head from around. Go, what the fuck happened?
Grizak-
For a moment, you didn't quite understand it because it's thin. It's only a couple inches thin, but it sort of bends to look around and then looks down at Renee. Its sword is no longer glowing blue.
I'm being attacked by a game from the early 90s.
Grizak? Grizak is petrified.
Little statue.
Zeta?
Zeta is got no clue what's going on, so...
Oh yes, Evanda.
Okay, yeah, she can see the golem from here.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge Arcana?
Sure.
I will take 10 and get a 37.
Wow. Okay. This is a stained glass golem, which is a variant of a glass golem. It has all the properties of a glass golem, plus additional ones. You know about adamantine, you know about constructs. You know that they can dazzle you with their light. You actually know the spells that affect it?
That's what I wanted to know. Of course, I'm a sorceress, so...
So it's just too much for me to ramble off. You know its most...
Shatters.
You know its second most dangerous power is that it can spell turn.
Ew.
It reflects spells as if under spell turning. And then its most fearsome power is the prismatic ray. Not the 9th level version of prismatic ray, but it's a ray that you one of the colors of a prismatic spray you're affected by, but it could be 2 colors if you're unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah, these are awful. Okay, I got you.
And you suspect that it's advanced as well, because that was the request.
All right, then. I don't know if you need that request.
Oh, you did earlier. Mark's like, let's just go get the XP, boys. And then Adam comes in. Yeah, they gotta be advanced. I
get turned to stone.
Okay, so the knowledge check was a move action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's...
Don't worry, our druid can turn things back from stone.
Oh, wait. And next.
Evander.
She will shout out, "Don't cast spells at it."
Your part song?
No, it's
Ahmed?
2 moves.
You may want to sift through Evander's character sheet and do something effective.
I have, but he's going to be doing greater heroism on himself.
Greater heroism. Okay, he calls out to... he clutches his amulet. I believe he is that sort of witch. He's got an item as opposed to a familiar, and makes himself a hero. Renee. The thing is threatening you.
Fire in combat, you're fine.
I'm going to fire in combat. I am fine.
I know,
And...
you are the point-blank master. Pow.
Pow! Pachoo! Pachoo! So Renee's going to 5-foot step back, I guess. Just try to...
Just to say, yeah.
Just to say. Just because it's a normal way of doing things. Normal modus operandi. Yeah. Oh, if I don't click on the window and I just type in the character sheet, that doesn't count as rolling. Okay, we're going to just attack it. AC 37.
Oh yeah, that crunches
AC
it.
30.
Again, another arrow goes flying into it.
AC 22. I think
22 goes through an already punched hole.
Alright, so it's 3d8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 because the point blank shot applies this time. So 29 damage after DR.
Okay. 60.
Wait.
It is not bloodied yet.
Yeah, we need to get one down.
Giant nibbles.
Giant nibbles.
Take
is
2
very
damage from your bleed.
Okay, I'll do that first. He's rather upset.
He's
about
got little
what's
glass
happened
shards
to-
stuck into him.
He my friend for 300 years. Screw you.
Are you attacking the one that got
Oh yeah,
nibbles?
he's
Oh, yeah.
5-foot stepping
Okay.
here. And he's large. So plus I gotta check again. Why? Plus 28. AC 36.
Yeah. Your axe comes crashing down with great cacophony. Shards of glass flying everywhere. Bent metal. A weird warbling sound as the creature moves. 30 hits as well. Your upswings and shattered glass tinkling all around the stone statue of Grizak.
And 28.
And 28, you end up kicking it over around Grizak and putting your foot through its lower body.
Yeah, so that's should be D8, so 12 D8 plus what again? Oh yeah.
We're
Sorry.
gonna train Radimer so that we can unstone. Jeez.
8. Oh, minus 30. 136 after DR.
Okay, the whole thing comes crashing down. It took that last hit to put it down, though.
Holy crap!
The rest of the frame that's all bent and broken collapses. Most of the glass pieces are shattered or broken and scattered across the floor. Yeah, it's a very nice, difficult terrain at that spot. The one that you ignored, however, I believe goes after Radimer.
Radimer is... so we saw that come out, and it did not look like a spell when it came out.
Radimer's lip twitches in annoyance. A sneer crosses his face when he sees that Grizak's a statue.
Yeah. So he's an 8th level cleric, not a 9th level cleric. Which is unfortunate for us.
Cast Necromancy effective 9th level.
It's not the same thing as being able to fit circle spells.
Right?
Like break enchantment. Everything he has does not really affect this. And it's like, does he blow his one web spell for? Cure moderate. Would a stabilize stop the bleeding?
Yep.
Okay. Does he have a stabilize?
One of his must. One of his 3 casting levels.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Here we are. I keep not going all the way down to the last one. Yeah. Here's the fun stuff. Okay.
Yeah, his oracle. He's got it.
Yep. His oracle is where I was missing. I was missing that before. Okay. Yeah. He'll stabilize.
Okay. Getting rid of Nibble's bleed.
Yep.
Thank you.
The stained glass golem. Lowers its blade towards Nibbles and points.
You would hit a guy with glasses, would you?
It's a ranged attack.
Yeah.
Certainly looks like a ranged attack to me.
We'll see what color. It's 2 colors.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I'm pretty certain he's provoking AOs for shooting range stuff.
There is a orange and blue swirl coming to the end of the blade.
Smash him before the
there is an attack of opportunity.
A crit the uncritical thing. Smush him dead.
I can't. Oh, this is gonna suck. Alright, hang on a sec. I am gonna take my AO. Oh, I just gotta double check.
Orange is acid and blue is flesh to stone.
Give him 4 acids. We don't care. Just give him all the acid.
Oh.
AC 40.
Yeah, you back end it with your axe, with the butt of the axe.
So 52 after DR.
52 damage. You do significant amount of damage. It is now bloodied. 87.
It's a fort save that you need to make here.
And then, no, it's got to touch first.
Don't roll a 1.
As the orange and blue rays of light come shimmering down across your back. Touch AC 18.
Yep.
Okay. You take 40 points of acid damage.
Reflex save half.
Nope.
Ouch.
And because they're rays, not sprays. And then the blue is a fortitude save. Let me figure this out. This would be DC 20 fort save.
Okay, well, I've got a plus 50.
28 or 20.
20.
Okay. I got a good chance. to get
It needs to touch first, so another ray?
No, it was part of the same ray.
Oh, it's like a multicolor ray.
Yep.
He makes it.
Okay,
Got a 12
you're
version.
not turned to stone, Nibbles, although... Yeah, okay, had a good chance. Alright, that's
Yeah.
and at 5 foot steps, it's like coming down off of the
Yeah, he
off of
doesn't
the window.
survive next round. It's
I don't know, it could Megafint. Grizak is stone.
nice. Good megafin.
Zeta,
She's going to move 30 and start a bard song.
I have a question about Grizak's filth.
Also stone.
Is his layer of filth also stone, or is he a filthy statue?
anything non-magical on him is turned to stone.
Is
Anything...
Is his filth so filthy it's magical?
No. Anything magical is still a thing. Like,
Oh, look, we've tried magic items.
you might have to break Grizak a little bit, but
Alright.
Zeta moves and then starts Bard's Song, which brings us to Evander.
Plus 3. And plus 3 for your rolls. Or whatever you're doing.
Evander?
Yep.
Comment?
Oh, sorry.
You see they're like giving the look of like first
Oh,
Magnus and
yeah,
now
sorry.
Grizak.
Oh yeah, that's not fair.
That happens.
Don't worry, we'll find a way to make Magnus the new Grizak.
Just make Magus really dirty. Get back in there!
AC.
Supposed to be king.
Fucking Ashoka with his dominate.
You're the king of shit. Is what you are.
So plus 3 from what, Bard Song?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and the heroism does
Plus
4.
2.
It's greater heroism.
Oh, okay, you said heroism.
No, yeah, sorry. It's so 4, 7 plus 7, 27. How far is this hill balls? I can't get to that thing.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I can't get to it. I'll move in.
Okay.
Renee's probably gonna put it down anyway. Yeah. Yeah, just get into
Yeah.
position.
I'll get in to about here. Still out of range, right?
Yep.
Is this in range? That's
It can
a
hit
one.
you.
Renee.
Renee's gonna 5-foot step forward and a little bit over just to have a slightly better angle and unleash arrow.
Okay, you're still 35 feet away, so no point-blank shot.
But I do have Bard song.
A very excellent Bard Song going on.
It's good, Bard. Good job, Bard. Doing the God's work.
It kind of reminds you of Fabian singing. She hits all the same notes Fabian does.
There's an odd longing look while he's like doing the look away natural 20 arrow.
Pink! Right into the forehead plate of the stained glass globe.
39.
Again into the neck. Clink!
AC 25. I forgot to -5.
Yeah, that hits by 1.
Okay, so that's 48 plus 4 times 4 is 16, plus 6 times 4 is 24, or 6 times 3 is 18. 55 damage after DR.
Okay, 5 is 92, 50 is 141. It is hanging on by metal strands, and a few pieces of glass remain, but it is still standing. Giant nibbles.
I believe batting cleanup is the...
Yeah.
Don't roll 1 3 times.
Slips on the glass.
breaks his own neck.
Sword
AC
cleaves
42.
Evander.
Can you do more than 19 damage or 9 damage after damage reduction?
Yeah, he'll,
Okay,
he'll-
so this one axe swipe just goes right through it. Pieces of glass flying everywhere. He grits his. He basically closes his eyes as he's showered in glass. The thing comes crashing down into a heap, and there's now no more motion. Also, no motion coming from Grizak.
See, he's probably like this.
He was like, looking down at his hand where it touched him.
Renee is staring awkwardly at Zeta.
Do you have a helmet or anything on to hide the really awkward thing you're doing?
Fox, if you recall, they were having a hard time healing themselves, let alone have advanced things like flesh to stone. I'd be very surprised.
We do. The Grizak can do it.
Grizak can do it? Really?
Well, he should be able
Yeah,
to. He would
things
have
are
the spells if he wasn't a statue.
All right,
So,
and just to torture Ahmed a little bit more, I'm gonna tell him what Grizak noticed before he turned to stone and wasn't able to tell anyone about.
Zeta's in the stone in front of him. I'm guessing.
Please don't share this out loud until Grizak comes back. What a dick.
That was the question Robin had.
All right, all is quiet. Grizak is not moving. You guys we're out of combat at this point. Feel free to move your miniatures around.
yeah. Radamer, come here now.
Radimer nods and slowly moves his way over.
You fix him now.
Takes a step back.
He pokes with his the end of his scythe at the stained glass golem, and it looks like he's thinking.
No mess with garbage. You fix Grizak. He like kind of grabs him by the collar and moves him
Oh,
towards.
buddy. All right there, Nibble.
Fix him.
I'm certain there is way to fix him.
I was not prepared for such. We could definitely fix him. And Radimer's trying to like look around, nibbles at Zeta, like help.
We'll acquire the resources to fix him. If we don't have them here, Nibbles, it's just a matter of time. You need to be patient. Fix now. In time. We need to stick together to get through this. We'll leave him somewhere safe. Like the corner there, it's nice and dark. Why don't you put him in the corner?
Do we have any extra dimensional space? He doesn't need to breathe in his current stony shape.
I have nothing that will hold him.
It smells a bit better.
Now is probably not the time to externalize that thought.
He just
No,
gives
it's-
Renee a thought.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true.
It's true. Smells better when he's not here. But he's still best friend. So we fix him.
So, Marty,
Hmm.
if I was Radimer's commanded ghost
Yes.
from the Dirge of the Four,
Yes. You are a Ninja 7 who spent one of his ninja tricks on evasion.
all Alright. That sounds like a pretty capable scout.
Yes. Are we conjuring forth the
I'm thinking
The
we
ghost?
might be conjuring. We're down a man. We might be conjuring forth a expendable ninja scout that will reform if it accidentally gets destroyed in a building? Yes.
Yes. It's when he comes running back going, oh my god, you guys are fucking done.
Okay, are you doing that right this second, or are you gonna...
It's...
This is one of the 4 who did not return.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we need the information. I think he'll conjure it now.
Okay, Radimer just goes off to the side. He pulls out a dagger that is glowing blue a little bit along its blade. Anyone who was part of the fight against the 4 who never returned recognizes the dagger.
Yep.
Did I give it a name? The dude?
It is called the Dirge of the Four.
Under his...
Oh, you mean the ghost?
The ghost, yeah. Under Radimer's, Kiral is... Kiral,
One.
traitor of the 4 who never returned, step forth. And a ghost is appearing. You are my servant. You will not attack any of those you see here. Yes, master. It says in Elvish, and Radimer, I believe, speaks Elven. Because that's how they communicate.
It would be unfortunate if...
Yes, he also speaks High Elven, which he learned while he was in Terrazline. His Elven isn't very good. This horrible elven spirit that may have arguably caused the downfall of Terrazline by killing the 3 other of his brethren,
Yep.
carrying message that the Imperial Army had an Ark of the Undying Emperor, and that's why elven heroes can be brought back to life.
They just sacrificed those heroes because they were just like, I got a pile of diamonds, I'll just fix it.
Radimer stops for a moment. He's not facing Zeta, but he kind of glances towards her, like just making sure that she's not taking any actions.
No, she's not.
Okay.
She's like cross-armed, but like
Yeah.
looking bitchy, but she usually is, so.
We have a servant here that will help us.
Send it to Scout F. Which we should be able to see out the back of the window right here. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the stained glass window is all broken and missing, so...
yep.
Go and have a look. Come back. Report what you have found.
So, where do we,
Right,
do we have any of the magic that would bring the Grzak back? Maybe a scroll or something, stooshed away?
Well, let's check the Grzak's items, shall we?
I do not, says Radimer.
Nor do I. Let's see what Grzak had.
Break him enchantment, stone to flesh. Those are the things you're looking for.
Nope.
We were not well prepared for something called the Iron Medusa thingy.
No, this is among our more egregious blunders in our adventuring careers.
This is it up there with like going to a dungeon with like no healing. Like, I didn't have any healing.
Yeah, this is right up there. Yeah,
Yep.
This is.
We have no ability to undo flesh to stone.
And you guys were in, like, the place where you could have bought it all.
Yeah, Marty, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Marty. We realize there's no excuse for this.
Okay.
Now let's.
I'm just
let's
making
be clear.
myself feel better. I'm like, did I set them up for fail?
Here's
No.
the thing. Nope. I can feel good about myself because none of my characters were involved in that decision-making process, or nor did they have that information. I was just some gnome or hermit. I don't know what I'm supposed to know.
You've been in dungeons before, Renee.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why on the road when they said, "Oh, it's the Iron Medusa," I'm like, what the fuck are we going to the Iron Medusa for?
Should have seen that one coming.
All right, what monster are you aggroing in the next temple?
Let me chase the ghost around.
We'll take one of the Grizax wands and throw some healing his way.
Grizak's only wand, which belongs to Radimer.
Yeah, because Grizak did not bring healing.
Okay, all right, pluck it off of, take it off of Grizak's character sheet, put it on your own, Zeta.
All right.
He's got good berries. Here's healing for you.
So you're able to like pull it out of his his
Shitty grasp.
She wipes it on something because
Yep.
it's been in Grizax's possession, so somehow it got gross.
Radimer just casts a glance over top, and he seems to be interested and trying to not be anywhere near Nibbles while he sent his ghostly spirit off. The spirit appears to have entered the next structure.
Maybe they'll have a scroll or something in here. If we could find the library or wizard study, something like that.
Perhaps the gods will be kind. Radimer says it like he does not expect the gods to be kind.
Maybe the creator of the universe will have pity on us for our stupidity.
Yeah, sure, guys. Here you go. There's no consequence.
no,
If there was no
might be
consequence,
important
we would have
for it,
stopped
I mean.
playing like years ago.
You trip on the scroll.
We need to go out and farm wolves until one falls out of its butthole.
Well, yeah, Radimer at 12th level will have the spell that's needed. Right.
Exactly. We would if we. It's with training rules. It's not even like get enough XP so you can have a nap and figure out the secret.
1 month later.
With the power of what we've seen in here, why could these creatures not just simply leave? The elementals may have been bound to this particular room. Radimer points at some runes that continue over the windowsill.
Well, the golem, same thing.
Are you telling me that there were no wizards and nobody capable of dimensional travel that is part of this great family?
Well, there are certain things you can do to wizards to prevent them from casting spells.
Additionally, don't we think if dimensional travel is broken here?
Yes.
Wait a sec, Zeta hopped.
When did she hop?
I thought you hopped out of the casket.
She did.
She did, yes. You're right.
My memory works. Yes.
Although Zeta did dimensional door, I believe.
I did. Perhaps it only affects travel outside the necropolis.
The spirit is coming back.
Is anything look like it's chasing him?
Is he running back or walking back?
At a slow but steady pace, it returns. Report. There is nothing but bones and inscriptions in that sepulchre. Give me a d20 roll, Adam. This is your idea for the spirit.
All right. $15.
Okay. It appears that there's nothing horrible in the next room. He eyes the Kiral, the traitor. He's kind of grimacing and grinning at him.
Maybe we should be trying to find the other side of the teleportee Medusa face.
Yes, perhaps. Let me finish looking over here. I'll be right with you.
I mean, dungeon delving is all fun and game until somebody get turned to stone.
Is there anything on the back of this thing here?
We're gonna just not let our casters get that far away from the group again. We're just gonna keep staring creepily from a bit of a distance.
Well, give me a perception check as you're searching through the back.
$25?
You find a iron holy symbol
Okay.
of the squire god Shaylin. The holy symbol is a shield, kind of like a diamond-shaped shield with an elongated bottom, with a lion's head coming out of it.
Okay.
And
sure,
this
take that.
triggers a different thought. Give me a knowledge religion.
I will roll the knowledge religion. $28.
There was something about the god having an artifact, a shield, that had a living, like a living lion placed inside of it. And when we're talking about lion, we're not talking about just a regular lion. We're talking about lion with a capital L.
Like the celestial fire lion.
No, more like the first lion, or the best lion, or the lion of the gods, or something like that.
Okay.
If this was real myth, it would be like the Nemean lion, that sort of thing. It was a lion that a mortal first tamed and proved that mortals had, or humanity had, courage.
Okay.
There's something about... You think Shaylin turned on Heronius?
No, yeah, I got that, yeah.
You suspect that this is before the coming of the Undying Emperor, where there may have been battles amongst the gods even before the world became the spoils.
Okay.
Something about this shield. When Shaylin held it aloft, he was able for a time to keep an entire family of gods at bay.
Well, I need that shield now.
You're pretty sure that the shield was smashed eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, but the shield of Shaylin is a artifact of the gods that is known to this world.
Okay.
The pieces of which may have fallen back to Tarak.
We're gonna find him.
just teased you with something.
Yes, I got it. For some reason, Adam had popped out.
I'm sorry. Am I doing
Nothing.
something awkward? Okay.
What is it, sister? Just an old temple.
No, not quite. This is a symbol of Shaylin.
He looks at you like you're about to give him a story again, but he does not complain.
We've heard this one. He was a squire to Heronius. The Shield of Shaylin?
Ah, yes, something about humans being brave.
Yes.
Stupid, more like.
Well, it appears Shaylin betrayed Heronius. This was even before the coming of the Five-Face Skull. And his symbol can be found throughout this temple. The shrine.
Humans, they never make up their minds. What does it mean?
Not sure. It's a piece of the puzzle. Not to be solved right now. We've got to get out of here alive.
Well, whenever you want me to teleport.
That might be dangerous.
He raises an eyebrow at that. I only have one teleport, which means I can only take 1, 2, 3 of you. The big guy will count as 2.
He'll count as one once the spell wears off. Richie, I'll just assume minutes have gone by.
Oh, Renee, what are you doing while in the room? Just watching the elves prattle? I'm streaming, man. Streaming. Streaming! Streaming! Air. Alright.
Renee's looking around, but he's guarding the people he should be guarding.
Okay. There is a bit of light coming out of the defiled, no longer running fountains.
I'll take a look at one.
Okay. You do notice that the water, while is foul, doesn't bother you very much. And at the bottom of the northern pool, there sits a flashing and shimmering dagger.
Okay.
Give me another perception check.
Yeah. 25.
The water... No, you don't notice anything there. Zeta, when you were going about the room, were you using detect magic at all or not?
Yes.
Okay, there was moderate, I believe, necromancy coming from the water of the fonts.
Somebody has a dagger in here.
Okay, the dagger looks familiar.
Did I make this dagger?
Take a little bit closer look. No?
Do I know
Is
who
it-
made this dagger?
Is it familiar to Zeta or to Renee?
It is familiar to Renee. It would require a... Actually, you know what? You did work on this dagger. You know that they came in a pair, and that they were once used by a heroic blue-skinned elf fey trickster named Grinthark.
The hell's Grinthark doing here already?
It just looks like it was tossed in, or maybe it was part of some old fight and he wasn't able to pick it up.
Okay, Renee will stick a finger into the water.
Okay. Disturbing the water sets off the trap. You take 130 negative energy damage.
I feel great. Woo! I failed the will save. Woo!
Okay, and you do notice that somebody had written a profane symbol just underneath the water at the foot of what would have been the five-faced god, and it basically caused a harm effect everywhere in the pool of the water. Renee's hand, just crackling with negative energy, seems to be all right by that.
I thought you checked for traps.
He turns. I might have spent a little too long staring at the sky.
You plunge your hand in and collect
Better
the...
go get the dagger. Yeah.
All right, well, it's just a +1 mithril dagger. It is one of Grinthark's knives. You helped put magic on these things.
Awesome. I'm just gonna put
Grinthark's Quicksilver dagger.
Quicksilver dagger. Mithril +1. I put
The little shit was here.
I put magic on this. Nibbles, have you ever raided this place with Grinthark?
No, first time here.
And you're certain you left him in a box?
Yes, Grinthark's box, yes.
Renee will throw Grinthark's Quicksilver dagger to Nibbles. Not
Okay.
at Nibbles, but to Nibbles.
Yeah. Oh, you're still not catching things.
I caught just fine.
Okay, he goes over and tosses it to you. Zeta notices that the sigil is slowly regaining its magic. Like, this is a resetting trap.
You mean it's Renee's little swimming pool of like just dip your balls in the pool once per day?
Spell effect, harm, 130 damage, reset automatic. It is slowly resetting.
Is there the sigil at the bottom of the other one too, or?
Yes.
Well, at least you have a place to heal, don't you?
Whatever do you mean? I am not affected by this magic, this horrible magic. Ow.
Yeah, I guess we had to put in brackets trap. Ratimer would also heal by this.
Yep.
Resets once per day.
Can we take it with us?
Nope.
I want to carry this fountain home. Set it up in my tower.
Well, I'm done in here.
Radimer, are you a scryer?
It was a shrine to the five-faced god, but they also found some strange emblems of the squire demigod of Heronius, who was the god of paladins, effectively. seem to be mixed in with the five-faced god in a way that a vassal might be mixed in with a master's sigils.
So, would this be a blast? Like, this seems like somebody trying to deface, but
Yes.
I don't know who's defacing and who's, like, what's defacing who.
So-
Like, a harm spell would be sort of defacing to the paladin god,
Yep.
but then the paladin god might just straight up not like the five-faced god, and then, like, is there another god, or is it just, like...
It depends what the original purpose of these fountains were.
Right. I don't know the answer to this puzzle.
Hey, Drixter, how's it going?
Somebody did like somebody, and now they made awesome healing shrines. I mean, healing shrines.
Right. It's straight out of the module. Just I'm not trying to favoritism or whatever.
In the morning, Renee will wash his face in the
Touch, auto magic, 130 damage.
31!
DC 31. Well, 25 plus spell level is the
Yep.
formula to see and undo magical traps.
Yeah, it's the DC. The will save was only like 19
Yeah.
or something. Right. We should probably check the furnace.
Yes, I agree.
Do you want to send the ghost face over there to another hole to look in?
Yes.
He will be
I think
harmed
that-
by fire.
I don't mean to stick him in the fire. I mean there was a similar little tombey thing all around the outside of that place. There's 2 east of Ear, 2 west of Ear that we saw on the way forward.
Yes, we can send him in. I would like to keep him under a certain amount of supervision, however, says Radimer. He just orders it to follow, and... Yes, master, it says in Elvish.
Zeta's going to see if there a way to use magic device on the furnace.
Yeah, the furnace is magically lit. By the heat of it, Zeta's figuring that it probably is tapping somehow into the plane of fire itself. With your detect magic and a spellcraft check, you're trying to identify the thing first, or are you just trying to push around and...
No, she'll try and identify it
Okay.
first. So, just one.
You find masterwork embalming, and there would be embalming tools, effectively autopsy tools, as well as other funerary equipment in here.
Radimer, if you have any interest, they're yours for the taking. Spellcraft 27.
Yeah, it has a simple command to turn off and on.
Okay. She will use magic device to try and do that without knowing what it is.
No, no. With a 27, you get the
I know it,
commands
okay.
to turn it off and on. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like ignin for off and ignin for on or something.
Not necessarily, but there are
Bernicus Atticus.
there are 2 different words.
Snufficus.
You were able to turn it off.
okay.
The furnace has been running for a long time, and there's still sort of this ticking of the metal as it's slowly cooling.
Yeah.
It is near molten hot.
Yeah, but can we see anything in there where they detect magic?
Okay, give me a perception check, as there is the magic of the flames plus the magic of the surrounding area. Minor
Prozac will be proud, Mark.
35.
minor auras might have cool. 35. What could have survived that?
How many d6s? Because the next question is, could we stoosh Grizak's body in that furnace and hide it there?
Yeah, we could.
Okay, how long are you waiting for this thing to cool down before rooting through the ashes? Renee also sees that there's a catch, like there is like a metal pan where the body is put on top of, where you can roll it out, and that the ashes and things would fall through it, and the bed where the ashes are is probably where you want to dig. You do see some piles of ashes along the edge.
There should be a hook or something to grab that with. And
Yeah. You guys do find some implements. You're kind of poking around in the furnace. Do you have any way to protect yourself against fire? Or are you waiting for this thing to cool down? This thing could.
We all have resist fire up still
From the previous battle.
Resist energy, communal resist energy fire.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're able to almost climb in to go and search around. Let's roll a random item.
And we will call that spell Grisak's Blessing. Part of the team. It's like the room 2 stone.
All right. Give me a percentile mark.
20.
Okay, you find an amber gemstone that had fallen through the cracks and was off to the side.
Okay.
This gemstone is radiating magic.
I'm going to try to identify it.
Sure.
3 rounds later.
28.
It is called a weapon
Crystal.
a weapon crystal.
Okay.
What kind of weapon crystal?
I'm just gonna check.
The kind that looks pretty in my hair, so screw you.
That would be
It's called a weapon crystal augment. This thing is doing... Oh, shit.
Fire damage?
No. It's better than that.
Bane undead?
Nope, it's better than that.
Suspicious.
Dread undead?
Stone to flesh on strike.
For 10 rounds per day,
Haste?
this particular weapon augment provides a paladin spell to the weapon
Holy Blade?
called Bless Weapon.
Bypass DR from evil creatures and auto-confirm crits versus evil? That one?
Yes.
I could go kill this Satan's butthole or whatever is growing out of the world with this thing.
10 rounds per day. That's all it's got.
Well, I could hurt it for a minute.
She shares that information with everyone.
Yep. The rounds do have to be used consecutively. It's just a single command word to start it up, and then it goes for 10
Or a
rounds.
standard to start?
It's a standard to start. Yep.
That's cool.
Renee, I think perhaps you should, if there's room for your abyss on your bow, perhaps it would be best in your hand. She looks at Evander. You already hit so hard anyway, my brother.
The spell says projectile weapons does not confer benefit to projectiles they shoot.
So,
Oh, okay.
this this sort of thing does not work with the bow that well.
I knew that.
Evander or
Screw the
Nibble.
dungeon, let's go fight the giant sand monster again. Let's go wandering back into the wild magic zone.
Evil chaos.
First step, feed it Grizak.
Choke on it, I hope you choke.
You know what? That random encounter has now become the focal point of this. It all ends up finding there's going to be this epic battle between the shadow, the living, and the sand butthole monster.
The other thing that you find
Butthole.
are a smattering of magical things. The first time you pick one up, it's like, huh, this tooth is magical and seems to be made out of really hard metal. And you end up finding a full set of medium-sized teeth made out of adamantine.
Plus one adamantine teeth.
Plus one adamantine teeth.
Who wants them? Are they like caps or are they like not
No,
teeth?
no, these are replace the teeth at the root.
We'll give them to Grizak. You can't say nothing. We're just sort of...
They're magical, and you suspect, like other magic items, they will resize appropriately to the person's mouth.
We should give him to a baby just to be.
Or there's this guy I know. His name is Nibbles.
No, Nibbles have pretty teeth.
If you want teeth that can bite through a wall.
Yes. Yes.
And we'll call the blessed weapon thing the Amber Rose. It is a weapon crystal augment, and I'll make a note for melee weapons,
I know a guy called Ambrose.
melee or thrown weapons.
Same.
Standard action. Blessed weapon. For 10 rounds. Once per day.
Nibbles is gonna pass his day just chewing stuff. Now it's just he's gonna...
Castle
Nibbles,
to-
my tongue! Oh no!
Just bite your own tongue.
I didn't realize tongue had hardness.
Okay, it must be surgically implanted, so we're going to call these the golem teeth.
We call them the nibblers pretty soon.
I bet you it'll probably give somebody who doesn't have a bite attack, and then probably someone who has a bite attack, they'd be considered plus one adamantine kind of thing.
Oh, the ability to like, I bite through their weapon. Just bite their weapon in half. The R of the weapon.
I'm trapped. I bite through my chains.
Yep.
You're biting through chains like biting through rope, I guess, or whatever.
Your jaws. Your jaws.
From He-Man, you're trapped. All right, but you're like, there's another one. There's another one you soon find kind of in the place where this fire did not burn
Originally,
the...
Renee was like, I guess I could fashion them into arrowheads. Well, there's a whole set.
You get rewarded for digging through places where people probably haven't before.
So the rest of that, it looks like there's a chamber back there. Is that a thing, or is that just a trick of the map?
It ends up just going into a... it's the rest of the furnace.
Okay.
I don't know what that...
Okie doke.
Some of the family members were really tall.
Does Radimer have anything that would be able to identify ashes? Give me a second. Like if we cast Restore Corpse...
Is there a complete skull in there?
No, this thing was so warm that it burnt through bone.
Okay.
You find the odd tooth had gone off to the side where the fire was not. This place is just filled with ash and probably leftover bits of bone. It's like you could shovel it out from the back and you keep on pushing it in.
Yeah, yeah.
And there are many chimneys here as well.
The whole...
So you guys just dug around in this main area. You haven't started digging through ancient ash and bone. Although your detect magic has not revealed anything back there.
Okay.
Alright.
Ratimer eventually sends his ghost in to just go have a look. He comes back and doesn't report it saw anything.
Alright, so are we searching for a way out, or are we searching for a sword that will tell us riddle?
See if we can find a sword. Damien said we're supposed to find a sword for that general as well. Perhaps it's the same one.
How do you turn Grizak back from stone?
A flesh to stone spell. She looks at Radimer like, you should know that.
No, I meant perhaps the blade will know of something here.
Perhaps. I find it hard to believe there's nothing here that can't turn him back.
They did have the symbol of a Medusa for their family. Perhaps they knew how to combat such things.
Well, one would imagine.
If the gods are kind.
Yes. She kind of looks back at the five-faced god statue. If they're kind.
I'm just adding the embalming tools and the autopsy tools to
So this is,
Radmark takes some select tools and then just wanders over. He
worst case scenario, we get the scroll.
Yes. Yep, well, I was losing on mid there, I think. Alright, back.
I'm still here.
He turned grey buck,
Yeah, no, I just turned the camera off for a second.
Okay.
so he can cry into his cereal.
Where are you putting statue of
I'm
Grizak?
looking for cereal, actually. There's no money here.
We'll put him,
Way back in the furnace.
yeah, like way back, like right at the back.
Stoosh him in the ashes of the furnace?
Yep.
Okay. Are you turning the furnace back on?
No. No,
Okay.
we'll just leave it off for now.
Okay, Renee has got the task of digging through the bones and ashes and putting the statue.
Oh, I accidentally muted myself like a jackass. We take the magic items off him just in case the furnace gets turned back on.
Okay, some of the items can be taken off, the others cannot. So anything that he's wearing, like armor and that sort of thing, probably can't be removed.
He's a sorcerer.
Well, let's have a look at Grizz.
Just trying to protect your gear in case, you know, somebody turns the oven back on.
Oh, I see where it's going. Yeah, no problem.
Or
I'll offer the exact
A
same
vest can be
gift.
taken off
Sorry.
quite easily. His gloves, yeah. His laurel, his rings, yep. The way he was standing. His cloak, sure. Horn of fog, all right. His meta magic rod, yeah. So basically, you have all of Grizak's magic.
That meta magic rod. Hey, does Zeta know any booms?
she knows fireball, that's it.
So I'm gonna cross it all out.
Oh, actually.
Just to remind us that Renee is carrying it.
I think the thunder boomer rod is Zeta is carrying that.
Just for now.
Okay, I'm actually going to cut that one off of Grizak and put it on Zeta.
What do you know, Grizak? To pay for the spell to turn you from stone, we had to sell the Empower rod.
Takes the rod.
I'm pretty certain it goes back
Does
to
he
Grizak.
shove everything up his backside? Why does it smell like this?
Okay, at this point, that was probably 10 minutes of searching the other room, 20 minutes of fiddling around here, and then 10 minutes to get everything packed away and Grizak put away. So we're looking at about 40 minutes have gone by.
Okay.
Our 10-minute
Still.
levels are still going.
Yep.
Although Rene's abundant ammunition is running low because his caster level is not that high. Alright, the next room, I suppose. Which building?
Maybe we should go and look in the other chamber, or maybe one of the back ones. We should use the one yonder to look into the others. Or perhaps these other sepulchres.
Lion head entrance.
Hmm. Let us make our way to here.
Agreed.
Alright, are you climbing through the open window, or are you going out the front and
We'll
around?
go at the front door. Like, that's
Okay.
why at this point we've got so little healing. Even cutting ourselves could go terribly wrong.
Alright,
Oh no,
so
got a boo-boo.
it's a short walk. You exit the front door. You can see the mound where the leftover bits of the carriage were. It doesn't look like it's been disturbed, or at least in a very long time. You approach this sepulcher.
Renee, would you do the honors?
Architecturally, it looks very similar to many of the other smaller buildings. It is positioned in a special place, like at the middle. The door looks like somebody has chiseled it open. Like it wasn't meant to have been opened, but you do see signs that somebody took like pick marks near where the locking mechanism was. The locking mechanism is broken.
Alrighty then.
I'm pretty certain that Thief beat us here. Does it look like Grinthark's quality of work?
It is a... maybe?
Are you certain you did not come here with Grinthark, Nibble?
No. No, Nibbles swear. Nibbles not good liar. Nibbles came here and he lied. You would know he's no good liar.
Renee's trying to remember if he's... How long ago did you lose him?
Oh, how long ago?
80 years?
Like a body ago?
Oh. Let's
Maybe
see,
2 bodies ago?
two trips ago.
Maybe Zira got him. Why would Zira want to bring him in instead?
So he can open door.
You don't think I can open door?
Maybe,
Grizak have so much shit to say right now.
maybe she no like you.
Maybe she not like.
Okay, the lock on the door would have been pretty easy to open. It's like a good lock.